Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about how to get started with machine learning and scikit-learn in just under 10 minutes. That's right. You would get to use a classification algorithm using scikit-learn. Scikit-learn is a free open source machine learning library for Python. It is one of the most popular machine learning libraries and it is a great place to start if you're new to machine learning. So let's talk a bit about scikit-learn. Scikit-learn provides a wide range of machine learning algorithms, including supervised learning algorithms, unsupervised learning algorithms, and reinforcement learning algorithms. Scikit-learn also provides a number of tools for data pre-processing, model evaluation, and model selection. So the idea here is to get to know what we would be doing in this tutorial. In this tutorial, in order to build a machine learning model, you will need to load your data set. The very first step is to load your data set. We will be using Kaggle as the Kaggle provides an online integrated development environment, an online IDE, and we will be using Kaggle to run our machine learning model. So the very first step is to load your data set, and then you would have to do some necessary pre-processing on your dataset. Then the third step is to choose a machine learning algorithm. For this case specifically, we are using a dataset of COVID-19 patient symptoms. This dataset is about in this dataset, we are specifically focused on predicting whether a patient with specific symptoms has COVID or not. So we will be using support vector machine algorithm from scikit-learn. The next step is to train the machine learning algorithm, and once you have trained the machine learning algorithm, you can evaluate the machine learning algorithm. The very last step would be to make predictions with the machine learning algorithm. The very first step is to go to Kaggle and import the data set. In this case, the data set is a COVID-19 patient symptoms data set. Once you have imported the dataset, we would be installing the necessary libraries in this case specifically. The library that we are using is scikit-learn, so we would use pip install scikit-learn to install and make sure that all the necessary libraries are installed. Once you have done that, we need to import libraries. The libraries that we will be using for this tutorial specifically are NumPy, Pandas, scikit-learn. This is a very simple scenario in which we have to predict whether a patient has COVID or not. So for this case, we are importing libraries NumPy, Pandas, scikit-learn, and we have also imported a train test split function from scikit-learn as well. The next step is to load the CSV file. Pandas provides a function called read CSV. We would be using pd.read_csv to import the dataset and read the CSV file so that we can do some exploratory data analysis on this specific dataset and see what kind of features and labels does this dataset have. The next step is to check the first few rows of the data set. The first few rows of the data set need to be checked. So let's check out the first few rows of the data set. We can see that the data set has features like symptom throat pain, symptom fever, symptom cough. These are specific columns which can be regarded as features in this data set that will be importing to a machine learning model. And the class for each record in this data set tells us whether a patient has COVID or not. If a patient has COVID, then it is symbolized by 1, and if a patient does not have COVID, it is represented by 0. So the next step is to prepare the data set. We will only be taking 2 columns from this data set. The 2 columns that we would be taking is symptom throat pain and symptom fever. and these two will be stored in x variable. Next step is to store the class, which tells us whether each patient has COVID or not. The next step is to split the dataset into training and test sets. Scikit provides an inbuilt function called train test split, and we will be passing x and y variables and also be telling the function about the test size. Once you have done that, we will create a machine learning model called support vector machine. You can learn more about support vector machine in another video. Once you have created the support vector machine model, once you have created the instance of a machine learning model, we would be training it using model.fit method. Once the training has been done, we will evaluate the machine learning model using model.score. Model is the instance that was created for the support vector machine model, and we will use this instance to call a function called score. Model.score can be used to evaluate the machine learning model. We will be passing the test x test and y test to the models.score method and get the accuracy of the model. We can also make predictions with the machine learning model. For instance, we could say that a person has we are passing a numpy array. We created a numpy array where the first value says that a person has fever and it also has throat pain as well. So in this case, the prediction would be and we will use model.predict to make a prediction on these two on this numpy array.